Hello guys and welcome back to today's session. Now in the previous session we have already completed that how to create a blower assembly inside an X. Now technically what we have done so far is like we have created all the parts which were related to the blower assembly. So we completed the upper housing, we completed the lower housing, we also completed the blower, and then finally what we did is we completed the assembly of the blower. Okay, now before we start the today's session, that is technically on sequencing, that is how to use sequence command here in NX to provide basic motion to the assembly. Okay, before we start completely with that, I would like to show you something that is regarding how to open the assembly inside NX. Now there are multiple ways, how you open the files inside NX, but technically when we are speaking about assembly, it has to do, we have to do it in a particular way, or we have to do it correctly in order to make sure the assembly is open properly. Now one of the popular way of opening any file inside NX is go to the history tab here and simply click on the file which you want to really open. For example, in this case, I want to open this assembly, that is the blower assembly. So what I'm doing here is I'm just clicking on this particular file and then automatically that file is open here in the assembly. Now we can look at this particular file and we can understand few things, and you might have also guessed it right that the assembly doesn't look very refined, or the component doesn't look very refined. It is quite jagged. As you can see, the circle doesn't look very smooth. Okay, and that is all because the software is opening this assembly with a minimal load, or it is opening the assembly in a way where the things are faster to display, faster to read. Okay, but the thing is the graphical representation is not up to the mark. Okay, so what you can do if you want to increase the graphical representation of your assembly, you can close this assembly. Then for opening or before opening the assembly, I can click on this option called assembly load options. Now once I click on this option called assembly load option, then I can decide how the assembly should be loaded, and I want to fully load my assembly. So I'm just choosing fully load. Okay, and then I'm clicking OK, and then I can click on this assembly, and now this assembly will be fully loaded and look much more refined than the previous one. It will look much more crisp, much more clear, and much more refined than the previous one. So that is how you can load the assembly in the way you want to. Okay, so I hope this particular tip will be very helpful for you. That is how to load the assembly in a correct way inside NX. Now, once the assembly is loaded, okay, and remind you again that this is the last video of this particular series, that is in which we are creating the blower assembly, and we have already completed the creation of lower housing, the creation of upper housing, the creation of blower, the creation of blower assembly itself. Now we are into something which we have not learned so far in my channel, that is typically how to use sequencing inside assembly. Okay, so if you support this kind of videos, I really appreciate if you like the video, if you comment your thoughts below, and also if you subscribe to the channel. Okay, so that will help you a lot. Now technically speaking, more than 50% of the viewers to my channel are not subscribed, so consider subscribing to the channel. Now what is sequence here in NX? Now sequence is typically the set of commands which you can provide here to create basic motion. So we are going to understand a little basic of sequencing here in NX. So what we can do here is, first we can go to the assembly tab. Okay, and here at the end of the assembly tab, the last option we can find over here is called a sequence. Okay, so once I click on the sequence command, the sequence related interface will start. Okay, and here in the tree, we are right now in the assembly navigator. As soon as I click on sequence command here, so we can see the NX assembly sequence is what is started. Okay, and currently we can also go to sequence navigator, so which we will have over here. Okay, so here we have the sequence related tabs, and here we have the sequence navigator. Now to start with sequencing, the first thing what we can do is we can start with creating a new sequence, because you can notice all the options are not available as of now. Okay, so for creating a new sequence, you can click on new over here. Okay, and then you can see sequence 1 is what is getting created. Okay, and here you can see the parameters for sequence 1. Now again, we are not going in that detail about how to use sequence and everything, but yeah, we are going to cover a good detail about how to use sequence. Now once we have started with sequence, the next thing what I want to do is I want to provide some basic motion to my part. For example, I know this particular blower is going to rotate in any particular direction. So what I can do is I can click on this option called insert motion, and then insert the type of motion I require this particular blower to make. For example, here I can click on insert motion, then I can select the component. In this case, the component is the blower. If you want, you can even color code the component so that different components will have different color, and that will be easier for you to identify and also select the object. So you will not mistakenly select any other component. So for now, I'm selecting the blower itself. Then I'm clicking on this next button here, that is for moving the object. Okay, so let me zoom in. So let's say for example here, the first button is for selecting the object, the next button is for moving the object. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this option called moving the object, And as soon as I click on this particular button called move object, the software automatically provides me with a triad, which gives me x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and also the 3 rotation vectors. So technically I don't want to move it anywhere, I just simply want to rotate it in that sense. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on this small handle over here, okay, which is between my x and y, okay, to rotate it like this. So this is the handle which corresponds to the rotation motion. So I'm going to click on it, okay, and give the angle of, let's say I want to rotate it, one rotation is 360 degree, okay, into 5 times. So that means I want to rotate it 5 times in 360 degree. So I can just simply type 360 into 5, that is what I want to do. And if I press enter, you can see it is starting to rotate and will stop after 5 rotations, okay. So it will rotate 360 degree 5 times and that will be captured as a motion. Now you can see in the meantime, you can see over here, here below pre-assembled, there is nothing written. Okay, so as soon as my motion is completed and as soon as I click OK for the motion, you can see the motion is executed and this arrow indicates the motion is done. So if you want to play it again, you want to check, what exactly is done. So here you can see the playback control. Now playback control are self-explanatory. You can go back, to the start. You can go back to one step. Okay, so I'll go back to the start and then hit the play button here and I can see the motion is happening. Okay, now here what happened actually is the motion never played back. Okay, that happens sometime if the rotation is too much. Like in this case, the rotation was 360 degree into 10. Now the problem here, what I might understand over here is the rotation is happening and this particular fin is coming to this location, but there is no motion or there is no smoothness to the motion. So what you have to do is, if you are having the same difficulty, you need to delete your existing sequence by right clicking on the name of the sequence here. See, follow along, right click on the name of the sequence and choose delete in order to delete this sequence and then create a new sequence. Now once you create a new sequence, you have to click on the sequence name and increase the refinement by changing the step increment. So here we are changing the step increment. For example, I want my step increment to be 100. Okay, so now every step will have, like every motion will have 100 steps. Okay, so earlier the step increment was only 10. So between each motion, it will only take 10 steps. Okay, so here the step increment is now set to 100. So that is more refined, animation we can get. And here assembly constraint should be off. Okay, 2 things we have to do: assembly constraint off and step increment set to 100. Now again, I'll go to insert motion. This time again, I'll select this. Here I'll click on move object and this time I'll select this rotation. I'll just give 360 degree to move it only once. Enter, and it is rotating once. And I'll click OK. Now here you can see motion is completed. I can go back all the way and then hit the play button and you can see now it is rotating. Okay, so again I'll hit the back button again and play it back and you can see again it is rotating. Now you can decrease or increase the playback speed from here. So you can play it at 1 step per second. Okay, so here it is playing at 1 step at a time. Okay, or if you want, you can play it at, let's say, 10 step at a time. So for example, here I'm going for 10 step at a time. So the rotation is pretty fast. Okay, you can increase or decrease the rate of motion or the smoothness of motion by selecting the motion here and then changing the movement value. For example, here this particular motion is taking 30 steps or 30 frames. You can say anything like that for now. So let's say I want to make it slower. So I can just make it 100 steps. So now this particular motion takes 100 steps. So it is much slower and it is much refined. Okay, as we can see over here, see. Now what I want to do, once the forward motion is completed, I want to rotate it back by 360 degrees. So what I can do, again, you guessed it right. We can click on insert motion. We can select this object. We can choose to move the object. Now you can move it any direction if you want to, but for now, for this application, we are using rotate. So here I want to rotate it by minus 360 degree. And now it is rotating by minus 360 degree, capturing all the required steps. Now here I'll click OK. And now there is motion 2 which is ready. So motion 1 is there, which is having one movement of 100 steps. And motion 2 is there, which is having one movement of 30 steps. And you guessed it right, because it is having only 30 steps. So first motion is smooth, but you can notice the reverse motion is pretty fast. So in order to control the reverse motion, again, what you can do is you can change the speed by changing the movement value. So here I'm changing the movement value to 100. And again, now this time the forward motion will have a same speed and the reverse motion will also have a similar speed. Okay. Now, what I want to do next is, before I start my reverse motion, I want to pause for a few seconds. Okay, like I don't want to like immediately start. Like as soon as the forward motion is completed, I don't want to immediately start with backward motion. I want to have a pause for few seconds. So here I have an option called insert pause. Now here I can click on insert pause, and here you can see the pause is inserted, and you can also control how long you want the pause to be. For example, I want my pause to be 50 steps long. Okay, so my pause is going to be 50 steps long, but the pause is coming right after my motion 1 and 2. So I want it to be there right after my motion 2. So here I am going to click on pause, and I'm going to drag it up just below motion 1. So as you can notice over here, my pause is in between motion 1 and 2. So how I did it again, see, I just drag it up to the motion 1, and it automatically goes below motion 1. Now let us try to play it back again. So here you can notice rotating forward, pausing for a few seconds, and then rotating backward. So this is also what we can insert here. Okay, now what I also want is, as soon as my forward motion start, it should be like this. You know, the camera position should be like this. Okay, so before my any animation start, this is how it should look like. And then before, at the pause, it should change the orientation, and then we should look at a different view. So what I'm doing right now is, here there is one more button called record a camera position. So here I'm clicking on record camera position, and here the camera position is recorded. And what I can do, I can drag this camera position all the way to the top, or drag the motion below the camera position. So camera position is the first thing, then we have the motion, and then we have the pause, then we have again motion. Okay, now let's say this is the first camera position, which is the current view right now. Now what we can do is, after this view is done, I want to go to the front view, and this front view is supposed to be my second camera position. So what I can do is, I can just go to the front view and choose to record this position as well, and then I can change the location. You know, I want this position after the first motion is completed and before the pause is there. And after the second motion is completed, I want my camera position to be like this. Okay, so I can again record a camera position, and here this will be the third camera position which we are recording. Okay, so again I'll just play it back just to see which camera position is which one. Okay, so I by mistakenly moved another camera below. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm just going to undo all my camera position, so there is no camera here. Okay, and we are going to start with the first camera itself. So we'll go all the way back. Okay, so there is no motion as completed so far, and I'm going to record this as my first camera position again. So I'm repeating the steps again. So here I'm recording this as my first camera position, then moving to the next step. So that is this motion, and once this motion is completed, okay, so I'm just playing back. Okay, once this motion is completed, so I'm just right clicking and choosing this particular option called go to step, or go to the pause step. Okay, so once this motion is completed, then I want to change my camera position to the front view. So I'm changing the camera position to the front view and choosing to record a camera position. Now once the pause is completed and once the last motion is completed, so let's say for example, we'll just play it back until the time it's complete everything. Okay, so once the last motion is completed, then I want to change my orientation to this view and record this position as well. Now if I go back all the way and play it back, this is the first camera position, this is the second camera position, and this is the third camera position. And that is only after the entire motion is completed. And this is how, my friends, you can control sequence here inside NX. And what I just shown you is very basic and very limited part of sequence. Okay, so I want you to, if you want more videos on sequencing, if you want to learn this particular option in detail, please let me know in the comment section below, so that I can create, you know, similar contents and more useful content for sequence. Now one important thing before we wrap up the session for this particular sequence, that is, if you want to export this as a movie or want to create a video out of this particular sequence, you can just click on this button called export to movie and then define where you want to save it. Okay, so that is as simple as that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day ahead, and thank you very much.